Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I thought I would start my first book talk. This is The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien. Now, Tolkien obviously wrote Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and all of that stuff. The Two Towers, if you somehow don't know, is the middle of the Lord of the Rings franchise. And my personal favorite out of the three stories, at least the movie-wise. Out of all the books, I think this one is my favorite. The Fellowship of the Ring definitely had some scenes that dragged out way too long, but The Two Towers is much more concise, I guess. And maybe I'm wrong because it's been a while since I've read The Fellowship of the Ring, and even I looked at reading a lot differently then than I did now, but I do remember struggling to read some parts of it. But this video is about The Two Towers, and what I have to say about it. Well, I think the book version is obviously better than the movies. I like the movie version already the best. I've always liked movies in the middle of a franchise, I guess. You know, for Star Wars, that would be The Empire Strikes Back, for example. You know, the installation between the beginning and the end. It's just always interesting knowing how you get from point A to point B to point C. And The Two Towers does a good job at doing that, obviously. I think my favorite parts are between Legolas and Gimli's friendship and Sam really starting to stick out as a character. The scene with the spiders and the scene where they talk before it are really good. And Samwise Gamgee has a lot of really good scenes in the book. There's one with, the potatoes meme. Well, yeah, that's in the books too, and it's still pretty funny. His interactions with Gollum I find to be much more interesting in the books than the movies. The movies, Sam is kinda, both the books and the movies, he hates Gollum, but in the movies it's much more clear. In the book, it's more nuanced. I feel like there's like a deep down, Sam kind of hopes and maybe thinks that there's a small chance that Smeagol will be able to come out on top and that he'll be good. Obviously, he's proven wrong eventually, and his hatred towards Smeagol, I think, was well done. Because, he hates Smeagol, obviously, but then he knows that he has to focus on the ring, the mission, staying with Frodo, and that ending was really, really, what's the word? I gotta think of the right word. It was kind of like a cliffhanger. It was a good cliffhanger. And obviously, the little fun fact if you don't know, Lord of the Rings was meant to be one big book, so that was definitely meant to be like a cliffhanger chapter. I don't know what I was getting with that, but let's get back on topic. Another thing that I really liked about the Lord of the Rings books was the relationship between Legolas and Gimli. Now, I've been more and more sort of appreciative of friendships in books, strong bonds between characters that can joke with each other, that can, that can argue and do all that stuff, but are still good friends at the end of the day. A lot of stories can make it cliche, or sometimes I know this in quite a bit of books, This is a little bit of a side rant, but I also like strong male to female friendships too. I've always liked friendships between characters because you don't really see it as much in the modern day. It's still in the modern day quite a bit, nowadays, but you don't see it as much as it was before. And so it's really nice to see two characters bonding, especially ones that are of different races and that disagree with one another. I don't really think there's anything I can say about the Two Towers that I really don't like. Well, I will say something about Faramir, and this is not something I dislike. He's definitely very different in the books. And between the movies, I do prefer the book version, I believe, right now. But I think the movie version gets, excuse me, a little bit overhated. I think it's still a good character, but I get why a lot of people did not like how they treated Faramir. But the scenes between Faramir were pretty good with Frodo and them. Honestly, I did not expect the Frodo and Sam stuff to be really good. I was expecting the first half to be the best part, and it was good, but I think I prefer the Frodo and Sam parts, connecting with the characters more, going through a journey, dealing with good old Gollum and Schmeagol. I really liked how the book handled, as I was talking about before, the Sam and Gollum. I think they handled that much better in the book than the movie. So yeah, that's some of the stuff that I could think about the Lord of the Rings books. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good day or night, and I'll see you all another day.